After 6 long years, we're finally going to Snezhnaya. Let's talk about it because I am so excited for this. If you're at all interested in Genshin, even if you fell behind, Snezhnaya is going to be an interesting region. If there's time to catch up, it's now. First, the devs talk about the Hymns of the Far North book, which, if you don't know what that is, go read it, but it's a really interesting book in Genshin lore. It's a book that has a lot of ancient lore of Teyvat, like the Shades and Nibelung. It's also the source of a very popular theory that the Tsaritsa is collecting the Gnosis to revive her dead lover, who was the third descender, which would be a really crazy reveal and would only give us more reason to hate Celestia. We are going to go against Celestia pretty soon, and it's going to be cinema. The Tsaritsa's plan has been in motion for so long that when it finally gets revealed, it will either be one of the most hyped moments in Genshin history, or it will be one of the most disappointing things that ever happened. I choose to be hopeful here. The devs talk about how the Archons, or the people associated with the Archons, have voluntarily given up the Gnosis because it's the best thing for Teyvat, and this got me thinking because the way that the Fatui has changed is a bit of a mixed bag. I know there's tons of people that hate how sanitized the Harbingers feel recently. Currently, they're more of an ally than a villainous org like they were shown in the Winter Night Lazo. I get the frustration. The trailer put an expectation, and because of how the story changed, that expectation was not met. Chrysabina was introduced, so any rumors about the Knaves being cruel was attributed to her and not Arlecchino. Columbina is not this creepy, unsettling cosmic angel, but is instead this misunderstood and lonely girl. The festival of Nodcry, where Arlecchino wore cat ears and threw water balloons with Columbina, completely sent the Fatui fans spiraling. I still like the Fatui characters, but when the game sets up a faction of villains and it turns out that their actions are barely morally questionable at best, yeah, it feels like a bait and switch. Only Dotori really seems like a straight up villain. So my hope for Snezhnaya is that the rest of the Harbingers are a bit more villainous and it'd be more interesting to see. Something that has me hyped about Snezhnaya is the train. Okay, look, listen. I like trains, okay? Trains are awesome, trains are cool. I yearn for public transport, and it's a unique world design element that I want to see in Genshin. From the way the devs talk about it, they put a lot of effort into how the trains are going to be implemented into the world and the gameplay. They want these trains to be more than just a means of transportation. The devs want these trains to be a form of cultural expression, and that sounds really cool. One of the movies they cite is Snowpiercer, which was made by Bong Joon-ho. He also made Parasite. If you haven't seen it, go watch it. It has Captain America in it. But in that movie, each character has their own vibe and culture. There's a combination of culture and function that the devs want to create. I think there's all kinds of cool different cultural elements they can put into these train cars. There's so much room for creativity, and I just want to see what they're going to do with it. As for music, the music is going to be inspired by Slavic music, and it'll be amazing, okay? I have no worries about Hoyoverse's music making capabilities. It's arguably their biggest strength. Look, I'm ready to cry. The dev team also wants to focus around this idea of preservation, and one of the ideas is, what if cryo was used to seal a power? But the Traveler finds it and uses it. It's funny because the dev says he says too much.
这个好像说的有点多了。
Like, brother, do you know how many times we've seen the Traveler use secret sources of power in every region? Do you know how little this narrows it down? If anything, he hasn't said anything. Cryo is also going to affect the battlefield. I want to know what that means, because does that mean that people are going to slip on ice? Are there going to be physical barriers? I think it might interact with other elements, if I had to guess. I don't know what's going to happen, but it'd be really cool to see. They also want Snezhnaya to surpass the rules. Elemental reactions will receive new interpretations. I'm worried because it feels like that's going to be locked behind new characters as per Genshin tradition, so I would be less surprised if they weren't. Future characters are also going to have talents like the characters in Nodcry. You know how Nefer can look up NPC intel? It's going to be stuff like that. There's also going to be improved character models for new characters, which is good because I like Varka's model and I want to see character models improved. The devs are also very aware of Genshin's age and they want to make sure it feels new. What I do appreciate though is that the devs are trying to make sure that the game still runs on low-end devices. A lot of gacha games are trying to be top-of-the-line free-to-play games, which is good, don't get me wrong, but at the same time, these games are becoming less and less accessible as the hardware requirements increase. I like Zenless and I started to dip my toes into Wuthering Waves, but I know that these games don't run well on lower end devices. Because of how long ago Genshin was released, I imagine that there's a lot of players that haven't upgraded their devices, so Genshin doesn't want to push these players away. We saw that happen when PlayStation 4 didn't update their support. It's also just better in general because the less barriers to entry means that there's more people that can play and enjoy this world. The devs are putting more focus on improving the in-game content so it feels more cinematic, which is something they've been doing recently, and I think it's a good improvement. I like the way that the battle played out in Nodcry against Satori. I thought that was really cinematic. Same thing with Varka's quest. There's also going to be a more dynamic experience. The example that the devs give is that patrolling agents would join the fight, and that some enemies might even trigger hidden story quests. I'm glad because I can't wait to find out that this random soldier I defeated actually had a secret connection to the Cryo Archon and was a fundamental force in Teyvat. Oh, and we get a good look at the new skin for the Traveler, and it just looks so good. I love the color, I like all the accessories. I mean, you can't have a Hoyoverse game without a leg strap, but my only gripe is that I hope they get to wear it the entire time. I'm still mad that the Traveler only wore their skin for Columbina that one time, and that was it. It's just so jarring that my fancy new updated Traveler got turned back into the old one. Hopefully that was only for events, and that from now on the Traveler is going to be in their new updated skin. Whether that's going to be the Snezhnaya one that I don't know when we're getting, or it's going to be the one that we got in Nodcry. The last part was that the devs talked about the future of Genshin Impact. It's strange because I felt emotional watching this. It's a strange feeling that I didn't understand until the devs started getting emotional and talking about how long Genshin has been part of their lives.
小杜林的母亲魔女 M 安德斯多特女士她曾经在剧情里说过一句话，叫做每个故事最大的遗憾便是要有一个结局。那对于我或者说对于我们团队以及很多旅行者而言，我觉得原神它已经不是一个故事了，就原神它其实是生活的一部分。那至少我是没有办法想象说这部分生活从我的世界当中被剥离开。
And honestly, yeah, I get it. You know when you finish a good book or anime and there's an empty feeling because it's over? It's the same feeling that I'm getting with this era of Genshin. Sure, this isn't the last chapter, but it's getting close. The only region we have left is Conria. Even with its ups and downs, I've been along for the journey and I've enjoyed my time here. Genshin has been a big part of my young adult life and is the whole reason that this channel even exists. I even made a video talking about my favorite Genshin moments. If you haven't seen it, go watch it because it is one of my favorite videos I ever made, and I loved reading the moments that other people loved as well. Genshin is a game that honestly helped me when life was rough, and it helped me find a way to express myself. There's a reason why this game has been at the top for so long, and why there's such a strong community behind it, for better and for worse. From this video, I can see how much the devs care about this game. It is very easy and very understandable to get frustrated by Genshin, especially because there are so many times where it feels like they don't listen to the community. You can make a long list of quality of life changes that still aren't in Genshin. The way I see it is that the business side of Genshin is one thing, but the creative people behind the scenes are genuinely trying to make a good game and story. They may not always get it right, but they're trying. Also, equally as important, to criticize the things that don't work. As long as it's constructive, criticism is good. At the end of the day, we all just want to have a good time and experience an incredible game, which is why I'm excited for Snezhnaya. I hope you enjoyed hearing me yap. I'll see you guys next time. It might be a week, it might be a year.